location of your traffic offense in New York can greatly impact the way in which the court handles your matter and possible legal remedies. Regardless of the court, most traffic matters can be handled without your personal appearance once you retain an attorney. If you received a traffic ticket, non-criminal, in the 5 boroughs of New York City or Rochester, your case will be heard by a TVB court. If you received a ticket in any other location, your case will be heard in a city, town, or village court. For non-TVB cases, there'll be a date on the bottom of your summons by which you're required to enter your plea. If you fail to answer by that date, you run the risk of having your privilege to drive in New York suspended. So the minute the ticket is written, the clock's ticking, so you want to make sure that you act. If you plead guilty, the judge will set a fine which will be mailed to you, and a record of conviction will be sent to the Department of Motor Vehicles, which will apply points and could also suspend your license if applicable. If you plead not guilty, the court will schedule a date known as the pretrial conference. This conference is an opportunity to speak with the prosecutor who may or may not offer to have you plead guilty to a reduced offense, known as a plea bargain. An attorney with many years and thousands of cases worth of legal expertise should be able to negotiate the best deal to protect your driving record and prevent a possible increase in your auto insurance premiums. Trials are generally considered a last resort because if you are found guilty, you will get the full number of points and are also subject to significant fines and surcharges. In TVB courts, plea bargaining or negotiating is not permitted. There are only 2 possible outcomes at trial. The judge will either find you guilty and you will be subject to points, fines, and license suspension if applicable, or not guilty, which means the judge will dismiss the ticket completely. This all-or-nothing system, which requires trial skill and experience, is what prompts clients to hire a qualified trial attorney. Typical he said, she said arguments rarely prevail, so it's best to be prepared to defend your case based on the law. For instance, before the trial starts, we have the opportunity to examine the ticket and any notes the police officer wrote. It's at that time that we may discover defects or inconsistencies that may be the basis for a dismissal. Next, the police officer will be given a chance to present his case against you. This requires that he prove each and every element of the offense that you are facing. Questioning the officer or cross-examination is permitted at trial. This is often the most effective method of getting a ticket dismissed. But knowing when to ask and how to ask the questions is not easily accomplished without significant trial experience. After the officer testifies, the person who received the ticket has the chance to offer any testimony or proof she might have. If you choose to testify, you can also be questioned based on your testimony. Note that admitting to having violated the law but offering excuses or explanations for doing so never works. Once you admit that you violated the law, it's equivalent to pleading guilty and the judge has no choice but to find you guilty at that point. After testimony and cross-examination, the judge has a chance to ask any questions he or she may have. Each party will then have the opportunity to make their closing statement. The judge then makes a ruling of guilt or innocence and sets the fines, penalties, and possible suspension of your driving privileges. Note that a judge can suspend your New York driving privileges even if you live out of state. The legal system is not user-friendly. Our firm is prepared to handle your traffic matter from beginning to end, providing you with the best legal representation possible. Achieving results is our #1 priority, and our legal team is prepared to aggressively fight for your rights.